You have to do the
I already
can't
did
slide
that.
on the group. Oh,
I already did that.
okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Intimate
So is it live
ZvX
now?
with Stoic, episode 23.
Cut.
You want to cut?
I just decided to, no, I just decided to say cut.
You want to cut?
Oh, I was supposed to say action is what I was supposed to say.
Action! Sorry guys, we haven't been here in a while. I've been away.
Shawn's been saving the world.
Saving the world one piece of shit paper at a time.
Paper.
Yeah, because I make toilet paper for a living. I'm not even kidding.
Oh yeah, touche.
Okay, so this week we were going to do 10 pool week, but we lost all the replays. We got to make more replays. But I assure you, David can hold a 10 pool. Why don't you tell him what happened? David was doing his standard, what was it, 17 pool opening against Complexity Rise, and Rise kept saying, that build doesn't work! Ugh! David said, alright, 10 pool me if you want to, and then Rise
What's your impression of Rise?
Rise 10 pulled him 4 games in a row, and got lost every game. And David just said, I am David! And that was it.
I say that all the time. I love talking to myself in third person.
So he is Stoic Regret.
He's telling me though. And you guys don't watch shit, so I don't really care about these VODs anymore because we have no viewers. So.
We got enough viewers.
No, not even close.
Alright,
I'm pretty sure I could watch this VOD 200 times in 5 minutes, so. It's about 5 minutes worth of views.
I don't know about that.
We could just open 200 windows. That would take about 5 minutes.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, play.
God, Symbol is so good. That GSL. If you guys haven't watched that, you need to watch GSL Symbol against Parting and Marine King. Oh my god.
Stay tuned for Game 3, because Game 3 is actually against Symbol, so... Are we doing Symbol for Game 2?
Yeah, Game 3. His ZvZ is weird and bad, so...
So you're saying
if only I was like Protoss Terran, my god, we would have displayed that. He would have rolled the shit out of me. But, unfortunately...
You are Zerg.
Yeah.
David is a strong, independent Zerg.
It's like an indie film. This is like indie film work.
Why do you send your Overlord up on this map? Why not across?
What? Oh, I do this because if he's on the left spawn, then that's the first SCV skip.
Oh.
I don't know, I'm experimenting on this map, but usually I do this because it's just really easy to know that he's there. The SCV comes...
Yeah.
Well, if it doesn't come, then he just doesn't scout. But if it does come, then it will come pretty early, so I don't know.
So you can kind of know where he is by his SCV scout.
Yeah, I've been opening gas as of late though, so scouting is not that important when you open gas. It's kind of more important to keep that drone because even though you still go up to 17 food, you are actually -3 drones on minerals because they're collecting gas. But you do have speed first, so it is pretty much very difficult for me to get cheesed. I mean, marine all-ins don't work if I have speed, and hellion all-ins don't really work if I have speed either. I just basically said everything doesn't work if I have speed early.
That's
Yep.
true.
Yep.
It is true. I've been experimenting with 2 gas at 40. How does that make you feel?
40? That's good. I think the more popular one...
2 gas, not
you
3
should
gas
do-
at 45.
Yeah, you should copy Symbol. I think Symbol does 3 at 50 now, but he gets 6 queens, so that kind of makes up the
I
fact
was
that...
I was doing the 4 queen build. Fuck that. I'm not
Yeah, the interesting thing about 6 queens actually nowadays is what it stops is there's this really metagame-ish push that Terrans have been doing that really crushes 6 pool openings with late pool, and that's just simply a no racks expand.
You mean
And
6
everything
queen.
looks normal. They take 3 racks, they take 1 gas, and then they take a second gas, and they get medevacs. But they do this push at like 9-10 minutes that's, I think, almost 8 hellions with a ton of marines and stim with 2 medevacs. And if you have 4 queens, it actually times out so that your speed just finishes. And oh, if you don't have 6 queens, I'm pretty sure that just kills you. I haven't actually seen anyone stop it.
Sounds like
without-
Terran imbalance to me.
But queens are really good now anyways because of the range buff, so 6... I think 6 is the correct number to do if you're going to do no gas openings. But, alright, as is, I took a 17 gas here at a 16 pool. So I'm gonna get speed and instantly take off gas.
Now
Now the
you basically
key.
you don't do your 4 queen build anymore, do you? You basically do 17 gas every game now against Terran.
Yeah, I don't like opening no gas. It's no fun. Just sit there and everything's too slow. It's boring.
It's like a preference.
Yeah, the other one is a little bit stronger. Like ideally, what it is in a nutshell, it's not what's better overall. It's what's better against what the Terran's doing. So against things like CC first or extremely greedy openings, even one racks, no gas, and then into double refinery at 17 or 19. So basically, they have no units. Then if you don't want to all in them, it's easier to get ahead by just opening no gas and taking 3 gases at 45 plus. So that's the real benefit of those builds.
So you just get a 3rd queen out for some creep spray it. This
Yep.
buzzard didn't even scout.
Nope, that's okay. A lot of Terrans actually don't anymore. There's no real need to scout. I think Marine King kind of proved that if you know how to step your Marines, you can blindly open the most greedy build possible and pretty much hold anything.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Except Marine King didn't hold against Symbol. Sorry, spoiler.
That first game on Metropolis, oh man, that was... When I was watching that game, I literally said to myself, this can't be StarCraft 2.
Oh, let me throw my disclaimer on the ladder. If I call you a faggot when I'm playing against you, it's probably because I lost, and also probably because you're a faggot.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I never said I was nice. I'm not gonna be nice to you guys, so don't expect me to.
Yeah, who cares?
I'm not a GM player, and by that I mean good manner. I'm not a
I did
bad,
actually.
I'm not
I
a
did
bad
actually see
manner
that coming.
player. I'd say I'm
I don't even want to talk about this game. I don't even care anymore. But whatever. Okay. So in a nutshell, basically what's going on here is, I wanted to do this roach bust, but not only does he kind of say it with the Hellions, but he scans me here. So what I'm going to do is kind of trick him. Little bit of metagame-ish things that you can do. You should be doing all kinds of stuff like this throughout the game. So as you can see, he's going to misinterpret this as a big push. But behind this, instead of building my lings, I'm just going to take my 3rd here and build 10 drones right behind. So this actually puts me ahead. It's 51 to 31 workers, and he overreacts to this, actually builds a bunker for no reason. He's not going to need that, and a marauder, which is great for me because that delays gas pretty huge at this point. And he is getting cloaked, but that's not going to be a problem. I'm going to have enough time to get my evolution chambers, especially because my roaches are out. So he's very occupied with using the majority of his forces to not die to a potential push like this. So, a nice little start for me. He still doesn't know I took my 3rd, and this is really good timing for the evolution chambers. I was basically able to stall out as much as possible, and that's what you want to do. You just want to stall as much as you possibly can. And the good thing for me is with a Hellion force opening like this on a 1-1-1, there's nothing really on the ground that can kill me. So I don't exactly have to produce that much army value, which is why I actually opted to just produce lings there, because there's no reason for me to spend my gas. I mean, if a push were to come, say, what's the deadliest? I think Mass Hellions versus Mass Hellion Marauder kind of a push. Then, I want to invest in something. So since I don't have a mailing nest, I'd actually have to blow my gas and build more roaches, etc. But in this case, once I see the Banshee, that it's basically just a harass build. So
Why is he not showing cloak?
it doesn't really matter. I have spores now.
Maybe he forgot that he had it.
It doesn't matter though, I have spores.
Well, you're right there, David. Spores do detect and hit cloaked air.
Yep. Wonder what they hit them with.
Spores.
Dragon Ball Z balls.
Spores. They throw
No.
spores.
But they're called spores.
No, they're called spore crawlers.
Ah, touche. So they're the crawler and they shoot spores. Good
Exactly.
point. That's exactly what it is.
Good spore placement, by the way. He must be getting so pissed off here. Every time he fucking flies in, there's a spore right up in his face. Let's do a time check.
51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 7, 8, 9, 11. Good?
Oh yeah, we're good. I should have told you a while ago.
I sensed it. I'm on to you now. I know how to deal with this.
Oh,
Shawn.
now there he goes. There he goes. He got you.
God damn it, we should have eaten sushi. I'm hungry now.
You should get some ramen.
Let's just go tomorrow. Fuck him. 2-man date. It's not gay at all.
That's pretty gay.
I don't give a shit. Is it gonna rain tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. You have no excuse.
Meh.
You know what? Are
Me,
you doing something with Lindsay tomorrow?
I don't know.
Huh.
Depends.
If not, we should watch StarCraft right after. I haven't drinking anything alcoholic in a long time.
What's on? All right. Meanwhile, back to the game.
Ugh, VODs. Worthless. I'm so cynical and depressing now. These things. Like, honestly, don't care. We should just give out replays so that the people who actually give a shit
I
can just
do.
watch the replays and learn.
I do give out the replays.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So what's going on in this game?
So he did actually continue to produce a little bit too many banshees, but the reason why he's doing it is because if you let's look at everyone's view as of late. You see, he actually placed down his third while doing this. So the more risky thing to do is you kind of say to yourself, 111 gives me map control. So as long as I have map control, I really want to produce the least amount of banshees possible. I mean, hypothetically, if one banshee made him safe the whole game through, then he would make one. But he actually made three. So this push that he's doing, even though it looks strong, is actually a little bit weaker than it should have been, mainly because of the marine count. But it's really just the investment of the starport. I mean, you can go as far to say that 2 medevacs here might have actually been 4 medevacs if you didn't build so many banshees. So it's the reason why I was a little bit unprepared for this. I didn't really build units because when you see that many banshees, you don't really tell yourself to build a ground army unless you're going to attack. I'm just basically trying to get my econ as high as possible. And the problem with him for this game is I successfully was able to get 73 drones, which is a nice count going into a 4th base. And I have all my 4 macro hatches. So
Spiky.
it basically allowed me to minimally counter. And I can't stress this enough. I mean, like, the most important thing on learning how to macro in ZV anything is, the minute you counter weird all-ins or pushes or whatever too excessively, and then the game still is going on because you're actually trying to macro, that's when you're over-countering something. You want to minimally counter something. It's considered a beautiful hold when you hold stuff like that, when you have to panic build units because he's doing a very odd push, and then you clean it up.
Anything.
Exactly. Like, that's how it's supposed to be. If my units were already out, then I wouldn't have 73 drones. I'd have, like, maybe 62 or something, and even though I'd clean it up a lot easier, it's actually bad play in the long run because, hypothetically, what if he didn't do this build? What if he was a little bit more economically greedy? Then, he might do a push like that, but it would have half the units. So now I just overly excessively countered it for no apparent reason.
Now, why ultras here over guardians, broodlords, whatever the fuck they're called?
Broodlords are better, but learning from all the pro zergs now, I think it's generally accepted that you should always ultra first. And the reason is there's actually 2 main reasons. So the first reason is the more high-end complex reason. So I'll explain that. It basically has to do with his tech switch. See, hypothetically, Broodlords against a maxed army of just marine tanks is exceptionally well. Like, in a perfect world, if you can get him stuck on a max ball like that, of just marine tank, and he's like completely maxed, which he's almost maxed now, right? 170 minus the army, so he probably would have been maxed if he didn't attack. It's great because what it allows you to do is it basically allows you to just win the game right there. Because if you already have Broodlords, then he has to unsiege and it gets so messy. He actually can't fight you, and he has to panic build Vikings, which is also awkward because if he wants to build Vikings, he actually has to lose his units, and you just keep reinforcing. And that's like the perfect world ZvT scenario. But Terrans have been getting smarter. They realize that, hey, if the guy's going to rush to Broodlords like that, and I have a maxed army of bio and tanks, I'm not going to be dumb enough to fight, right? That wouldn't make any sense. I'd just lose the game. So they do things like on some maps you can do these huge doom drops, basically moves that abuse the fact that Broodlords are extremely immobile. So it almost turns into a ZvP, in which the Protoss sees you have like 25 Broodlords, and they're not dumb enough to actually engage you. So they just do these weird base trade scenarios. So Ultralisks forces them not to do that, because Ultralisks are actually really quick. So if he tries to base race you, you get one fungal off, and Ultralisks are very good in a standing fight. And then after that, you can transition into Broodlords. So it shies away from that messy game where it's like, ugh, I have to deal with this weird base race, and then he's trying to stockpile Vikings, and if he successfully does that, then it's easier for him to just drop me everywhere than it is for me to defend everywhere. So, and it's also convenient because I'm already
free tank.
Yeah, so this is a little bit of a mistake by me. One thing that you should not do what I do here is with this army, especially this type of army without blue lords, you have to be so active with your lings. Never hotkey your lings with your infestors because you want those lings running around everywhere. See, his trek to that base to snipe that was extremely ridiculously far. It was a huge risk. He actually had to go not just across the map, but over the top too, away from the Zelnaga, and then go back towards my base and then siege there. So me not seeing that is just me being too lazy and
To
way
take
too
the
sloppy.
fucking Zelnaga tower. God damn it. Dude.
Exactly. Or just simply to move around with my army. Because there's no harm in, getting one splash damage with a bunch of fast slings. Instantly you show him that there's a threat of you being there, and instantly you know that he's there in the first place. So, but nonetheless, as you can see, as long as I was there, this would have been a lot easier because I am almost fully upgraded here, and I don't think he's even 2-2 yet. So I would have been able to clean it up, but a little bit of a misplay by me, so this game's going to be a little bit longer just because of that move. It was a very good snipe because I actually needed that base. As you can see, I actually lost my mining at my first base, so I actually need a base now. But a very good fight for me, so that kind of evens out the score, and a little bit of a weird scenario for him. He just loses that base, but I think he takes another base on the top, which is why he wasn't actually looking at that. But a little bit sloppy, but it's not too much of a deal because he's not going to be able to land it anyways. So I don't think taking a base in that location was good anyways. Okay, so at this point, always tell yourself the game's gonna go on, the game's gonna go on, and I say that because a lot of people forget that even though you're winning, even though you have a really nice bank, even though you have a really nice economy, whenever you're playing late game against Terran or Protoss, you have to open up your tech, just in case. There's always that moment, especially the better the Terrans get. There's always that moment where you're going to need Broodlords.
You want a time check on that note?
24, 25, 26, 27, 28,
okay.
29. Yeah, there's always that time where it's like, oh, if I just had like 3 Broodlords here, I wouldn't have lost this base, or something like that. So definitely look to put down double spire. I don't do that because I'm bad, and I don't really care anymore. But definitely in this case, the best thing to do as I'm pushing in here, put down that double spire. No reason not to do that because I don't have to upgrade anything anymore on the ground. So no upgrades means I don't have to tech my ground units anymore. So I may as well continue teching potential air unit tech. But as is, I'm not, so I'm gonna stay on Ultra Ling. But it's not too bad because I did snipe 2 very important bases of his. Well, not snipe, but I'm denying one with the Zergling up top, and I know that he hasn't expanded at the bottom because I killed the command center. So I am ahead economically, which is great. I just have to ensure that my bases don't get sniped randomly. So lots of spines, huge. At this stage of the game, Ultras cost so much food that it's okay to be sitting on a little bit of a lower drone count. So you don't really have to replace them. If you have 70, it's fine. Actually, past the 25-minute mark, as long as you have a lot of gas banked, you really don't need more than, I'd say, 60 drones mining. So yeah, just continue to build spines. Don't be cheap on them. Yeah, okay, so this game, the one thing I'm missing is banelings, so that's why that first fight, well, not the first fight, the last fight that I did, didn't actually just kill him. But that's actually okay. I don't really want to build banelings unless I have the absolute bank for it, but as you can see now, I'm banking while building a bunch of banelings while being maxed on my ideal Ultralisk ball. So me going banelings now is fine because I actually can afford it. So speed did finish, timed that out quite nicely. And this is just one big, nice final attack. I don't think there's much you could have done in this scenario anyways, but definitely as a Terran player, what you want to do in these positions when you know that you're behind is create walls. It doesn't cost you much at all, Build that extra 5 Raxes that you're not going to use. It's very, very beneficial, and the cost efficiency of your army, especially with a low tank count, because, they were just cleaned up and you can't replace them as quickly, is so essential to hold off stuff like this. And all you need is one little screw up by the Zerg to kind of mess up his AI and walk into the wall, not realizing that it's not worth it, and then you kill off like 3 Ultras, and that's huge. So definitely create a wall. It didn't have that, so it was easier for me to just engage every time. Which is why you need rulers, by the way, because the counter to the wall is ruler transition.
Yes.
Alright, so this game's almost over.
Almost. Say it was over. Well.
I don't think I can fight into this choke. See, but that kind of proves my point. You see how good chokes like that are. That's why I just create a big wall. Barracks are great. Obviously, the ideal thing to do is planetarias, but if you're behind economically,
Oh.
don't blow money on planetarias.
The amount of SCVs you kill makes me want to fucking puke. Oh, I guess it's only 37.
Yeah.
I've seen worse.
I've seen way worse.
Oh, rage quit. Bye, Everize.
Alright, so that's good game. Whoop-de-doo.
Alright, well, let's get into game 2 then.